Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sports Show right here on Smash FM here on a Sunday morning here in Melbourne. Of course, let's turn our attention now to basketball in particular. And of course, we'll go all the way to the US in particular, and of course, go to Colorado in particular. Of course, speak to an Australian player over there. Of course, last time we had her on the show, of course, she was playing for Forestville back in 2017 at the National Classics, but now she's over in the States now, of course, playing for the Colorado State team. Of course, her name's Katia. She joins us right now. Thanks, Katia, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
No worries. Well, obviously, I'll be hoping to talk to you about the season, especially the non-conference play at the moment. But obviously with COVID, that hasn't happened as yet. I guess for you and the team, how difficult has that been without no conference play at this stage of the year?
At this stage, it is a bit difficult. Obviously, we'd love to play some non-conference games leading into conference and, you know, be able to play with play together a little bit more. But this just allows us a lot more preparation for the upcoming season. And although it does suck that we aren't able to have some conference, I'm not 100% sure if we're having non-conference yet, but yeah, we are able to have a lot more preparation with the girls. So that's great.
And how's that been in the past couple months or so since you've gone back to campus?
Our preparation has actually gone pretty well. So we were unable to do a lot of actual play against each other for a while, and that was able to start in end of July or start of August-ish. So yeah, we were only allowed to do individuals for a while, but as COVID got a bit better within our county, we were able to ease restrictions. So we've been able to practice together and do a lot of, it started off with more one-on-one, then 2-on-2, 3-on-3, but we've been able to practice together as a team for a while. And I think that's helped with our preparation a lot. Still wearing masks during practice, which it's hard to do, but, you know, it's needed. But yeah, like it's been tough, but, you know, we've really come a long way, I think, so far.
Now, I was going to talk to you about that. Obviously, everyone pretty much across the country is wearing masks, especially in college basketball due to COVID. I guess for you and the team, you mentioned how difficult it has been with it. I guess I'm assuming that you have had the chance to sort of adapt to it now in regards to sort of practice with masks on. And first, initially, how strange was that? And then, I guess, how have you tried to sort of train and still do what you normally would do at training, but with mask on?
At first, it was very difficult, just trying to kind of figure out how to breathe properly and get as much air in with having the masks on, and, you know, having to have them up over our nose. So like just in case, you know, but since then we have adapted a lot, and our practices are just like normal, but our coaches have been very understandable if we need to take a step away and pull our mask down to take a breather and then come back. And so yeah, we've alternating a little bit, so we have a bit long, like some longer water breaks or something like that. But as I said, it's hard with those masks on, so hopefully they're gone by the time season is starting. So yeah.
Now let's talk a bit about the team itself. Now, of course, you're the only Australian player on that team at the moment. Obviously, you did have a fellow Australian with you last season. Unfortunately, she's no longer there. I guess for you, how difficult is that now, not knowing that, I guess, knowing that you're the only Australian player, and have, I guess, I'm assuming your teammates has welcomed you a lot more, knowing that now you're Australian?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, I miss my other Australian, Taylor, a lot. And it was great having her there for my first year and being able to speak to her about her experiences as a freshman as well. But at the moment, we have a lot more international girls on our team as well, a lot from Europe. So I don't feel too isolated and alone, I guess. And my teammates are all so great and also caring, and they really like make it feel like home. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, I guess.
Now, you might as well tell us about the new players that that came into the team this year in their first freshman year.
Our freshman year, we have Maria, Ellie, Michaela, and Callie. Michaela and Callie are both from Colorado, and they're really great players. And Maria's from Spain, so she's one of the girls from Europe, and Ellie's from Washington. So, you know, they bring a lot to our team and a lot of like size and a lot of like great skills and great skill sets and a lot of IQ. So, yeah, it's really great having them in our team. And yeah.
Now, of course, on the opposite end, obviously you've got, I'm sure you've got a couple of the senior players that end up being their last season. They're at
Yep.
Colorado State. You might as well tell us a couple of the senior players into their final year.
Into their final year. So final year, we have Jamie, Leah, and Law. I believe they're in their final year of eligibility. But yeah, they're, you know, veterans. They know exactly what to do and how the game has been played and how our team like works within and everything we have to do to win games, and their wisdom will really be a massive component towards our team and winning games this season. So yeah, they're amazing girls as well. I love our whole team.
Now, is your team a fairly, I guess, young team in regards to, you know, there's more freshmen, sophomore than the junior, senior side of things?
I would say it's pretty spread out. We have some transfers in as well. I think it's pretty even between upperclassmen and lowerclassmen. So yeah, I think that us lowerclassmen can learn a lot from the upperclassmen that have been there for a while and have had the experience, maybe not in this team, but in other teams, and have transferred in. So I think, yeah, it's a really good dynamic we have in our team at the moment. So yeah.
Tell us a bit about your amazing coaching staff there at Colorado State.
Our coaching staff's amazing. Really could not fault them. They really know the game of basketball so well, and you can tell how much they care about us as a team and how much they care about our health and our well-being and our mental well-being as well. They're really caring people, and like it really shows because they're all parents as well. So that really shines through and really shows us how much they care about us through the way they talk to us, the way they coach us, everything really. So yeah.
The pandemic at the moment, I guess, have you had a chance to return home to Adelaide to see your parents and your family, or have you been staying in the US during this time?
So I was able to come home in March of this year. So initially I was supposed to be coming home in May, but then the pandemic happened and coach said that I can go home straight away to be with my family. So yeah, I was able to go home in May, and then I came back here end of June to start practicing. And yeah, so I think it was a good 3 months home that I was able to spend with my family, and then I was able to come here and start getting better and getting stronger and working on my game and making like everything better, I guess. So yeah, it was great to be home and see my family and be able to do as much practice as I could, and with the restrictions in Australia. But yeah, it was great to be home. Yeah, see my family.
I know there's a couple of your fellow Forestville teammates from that 2017 season that are now over in college at the moment as well. I guess, have you given them any advice to how to sort of get used to college life?
Well, I guess a lot of those girls that were in that team have come over at the same time as me. So we have spoken together about how we're feeling and, you know, homesickness and stuff. Like, it's bound to happen. And the girls that were older than me, I was able to speak to them, and they were able to give me tips and let me know what to expect. And now some of the girls that are coming this year I'm able to talk to them about things that, like, about the experience and how we are going to miss home. But in the end, like, we've come here for a reason, and we have to put all our energy in for that reason, because otherwise there was no point in coming. So it's tough. It's tough being away from home, and anyone else that's going to play college, it is really tough. But it's a great experience, and I wouldn't have changed it in any way so far. So yeah.
Now let's talk a bit about your basketball journey. Where did it all start, and why did you choose it?
Why did I choose basketball? Okay, well, I was playing soccer and basketball as a kid. My best friend actually got me into basketball. We started just playing little league, like, I don't even know, we were probably 5 years old, maybe 6. We were just playing like in a little team that we made up with our friends, and I really enjoyed it. So I went out to Forestville, and we were in the same team for a while. We were in the same team for every second year for a good amount of time, which was great. But yeah, then I think it got to in 2012, I had to choose between soccer and basketball. And even though I was pretty good at soccer, basketball really just had my love, to be honest. I had my heart. So yeah, I've just been rolling with it since then and doing my best. And yeah, just really, I'm a competitive person. So I guess that's what's gotten me here, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah.
Now, I know I'm going to ask the most silliest question I'm going to ask. What would be some highlights throughout your basketball journey?
Winning classics with the girls, obviously, that was a great one. I would say my first year of playing in the ABL, the Adelaide Premier League, that was with those coaches, Monica and Dee. That was one of my best years of basketball. That's where I grew a lot as a player and as a person, and that was most amazing year so far. And then obviously when I was offered my scholarship here, that was probably the highlight of my career so far, and being able to come over here and play with our girls. And like, so far college in Colorado State has been my like most amazing basketball experience, and that's probably the biggest highlight so far. So yeah.
Now, let's talk a bit about that 2017 National Classics here in Melbourne for
Yeah.
Forestville. I think if my memory serves me correct, I think it was pretty close, that game
Yes.
in 2017. Now, tell us, how special was it to win Classic, especially here in Melbourne against the
Yeah.
top, I guess, teams in the competition here? And I guess my second part of that question is, how good was to be interviewed with your teammates from us?
Okay, first part, I think it was we were down by a lot going into halftime,
Correct.
and then we brought it back, and really some of our players just went off, and that was so amazing. My last year of juniors basketball, to pull off one of like our biggest competition with like winning the competition, that was an amazing feeling and something I'll never forget. Especially with those girls who some of them are still some of my best friends now, and yeah, it was an amazing feeling, and winning that was just that's priceless feeling. Being interviewed, that was probably like the first interview I've ever been in. So for me, that was very new. But it was fun. I definitely remember that. We were all celebrating, and you came in and we were getting interviewed, and that was a lot of fun to be interviewed. So yeah.
Now, let's talk a bit about your college journey over there. Now, number one, why did you end up choosing Colorado State? Considering obviously the weather conditions completely different to Adelaide.
Yes, completely different.
Why did you choose Colorado State?
I chose Colorado State because from the beginning of my recruitment, when Coach Ryan was recruiting me, he expressed how much he wanted me to be a part of his program and how important I could be to his program. And then I came on my visit, and this place felt like home. It was so amazing. It was everything that you think of when like thinking about college, American college. It was a whole experience. Like, I was able to go to a volleyball game and I go to the football games. And even after my visit, when I came here and I was able to go there, I'm like, this place is amazing. And like, it's still the exact experience that I thought it was going to be. And yeah, so I think I made a great choice coming here. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it so far.
What does the sport of basketball mean to you now, and especially now being there at Colorado State for your second season?
Oh, tough question. I would say it has really helped me a lot. In the times that I have felt homesick and I have been sad and I've wanted to go home, I think about why I'm here, and it's for that reason. It's for basketball. And like, I think about, like, it's opened so many opportunities for me to experience life, and like experience life doing something I absolutely love doing. And like, without basketball, I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't have the opportunity to make some of the great friends that I've made. And like, other than basketball and being one of my favorite things on this earth to do, it's really just changed my life so much, especially coming over here. So yeah, it means a lot to me. It's a game changer.
And do you have any future ambitions in the sport of basketball during your time at college or even post-college?
Yeah, post college, I'd love to come back home and play WNBL. That would be a dream come true. Even playing in Europe somewhere, I'm not sure, but I don't want to stop playing basketball after I finish college. I want to keep going. I can't imagine myself stopping in 2 years' time anyway. So not while I'm this healthy and young. So yeah, I am 100% plan on keep playing after college, and wherever it takes me, it takes me. But it's my first love. I can't really change much. So yeah.
Now, I rarely ask this question to all the college players that are currently over there at the moment, but obviously you must tell us, what are you currently studying at the moment on top of playing basketball over there? And how important is it to juggle both studying and obviously playing the sport that you love?
Yeah. So currently I'm undeclared, but I hopefully after this semester I dance and computer information systems. So that's the plan for that one. But yeah, it's really important to juggle your academics and your athletics, because if you don't juggle it and you're not performing academically, then you can't even perform athletically. Like, it's really important to be able to juggle them both. And if you're not enjoying yourself academically, then how much can athletics really cheer up your mood when you're at school? You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it's so important, and especially like being like in women's basketball, there you have to have other options as well as your sport. So yeah, degrees are very important, and my family has always reiterated that to me. So yeah, I'm enjoying school at the moment as well. So I'm enjoying it.
Now, what would be your advice to kids in Australia that are dreaming to do what you're doing right now, going over there to college and I guess play the sport that they love? What would be your advice to them?
Never give up. I've been knocked down a lot. There was a lot of obstacles I had to go throughout my junior career, but look at me now. I never gave up. I never gave up. Sorry, I like kept pushing, and that is because I'm very competitive and I come from a very competitive family. But that's one thing you can never do, is never just let yourself get down and say, oh, don't worry about it. Maybe it's not for me, because it can be for you if you really, really put your mind to it. And yeah, that would probably be my biggest piece of advice I can give from my own experience, is never give up and never let someone tell you that you're not good enough, because you always can be. So yeah.
Now, let's finish on a couple of light-hearted questions about your teammates. Firstly, who's the comedian in the team?
Oh, the comedian? Lauren, probably. 100% I reckon. She's a cracker. She's hilarious. Lauren and Lexi. Lexi is one of my best friends on the team. She's a cracker. She's so funny. But yeah, probably one of them two, I'd say.
Any good singers and dancers we should know about?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think everyone likes to have a bit of a get down a little bit. So yeah. We got some artists. We got Sydney Mac. She's an artist, so it's pretty dope. I don't know about singers and dancers though. But yeah.
Now, is there any player on the team that just absolutely very forgetful?
Bengisu. She is she's funny. And also me. I forget my drink bottle everywhere. I don't know why I didn't say me first, to be honest, but yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
now, obviously, this question sort of doesn't relate to this season for the fact that you actually haven't started yet. But is there any embarrassing moments by anyone on the court last season or during training this season?
I guess Law just falls over sometimes. She just really just like loses her balance and she just falls over, I guess. She's done a couple of them. They're classic, I guess, but I'm really trying to think. That's put me on the spot. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think probably Law just falls over a lot. All the funny moments are probably Law falling over. Or me falling over. I fall over a lot as well. Yeah.
Now, do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Not really. I reckon I just listen to music. I don't know. I guess that's it. No, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I have any. Oh, that's a bit boring. I should find one. But yeah.
Now, last season in your freshman year, was there a particular game that stand out to you the most?
I'm not sure. I would say the CU game. That was a great game to play. Unfortunately, we did lose that game, but it was fun to be able to compete in, rivalry games are great. And our Wyoming game, the first Wyoming game when we went up to Wyoming and we played, and Mackenzie just really went off that game. She went crazy, and that was one of the greatest feelings. I think we only ended up winning by I can't really remember, but that was a close game, and that was a great rivalry game that we won. So yeah, that one was probably the greatest game. That was so exciting. So yeah.
Now, I know in your conference in particular, there's a fair few Australian players in your conference last season, this season, I think, off the top of my head. I guess, how good is to see that? And do you get to catch up with them after the game to, to sort of feel a little bit more at home?
Well, I mean, last year I had Taylor from Australia, so it wasn't too big of a, I guess, you know what I mean? Taylor was friends with a couple of the girls, I think, at Fresno. But yeah, I don't really know them that well, and that was also some tough losses, so we weren't really catching up after them. But yeah, I know that there's a girl, I think there's a girl at Wyoming that is from Australia, so yeah, I'll have a chat to her after that game, and yeah, we'll just say hello, I guess.
Now, have you convinced any of your teammates there at Colorado State to come down to Australia?
I'm in the process of convincing my friend Lexi. I think she's coming along, to be honest. She is excited to come visit one day. Hopefully after this pandemic, she's able to come home with me maybe. But yeah, that would be great. I think I'm getting there, to be honest. But yeah, that would be great if she was able to come down and visit, and anyone else in our team to come down and visit. It would be great to be able to show them around our amazing country and show them how different it is to America in particular. So yeah.
Now, I know we have a lot of colleges, they do one international trip
Mhm.
every 4 years or so. Have you, tried to convince your coaching staff there to hopefully maybe bring the whole team down here to Australia?
Oh, we had a talk about it with my assistant coach if coming down to Australia would be good, and I said that it would be a great experience for the girls to be able to come down and see Australia and all of that all together as a team as well, and be able to play against Australian competition and stuff. So yeah, but we did have a international trip last year to Costa Rica, which was amazing. But yeah.
Now, has any of your teammates tried to put the Australian accent on, and how's that traveling?
Yes, one of my teammates last year especially would always try it, and she was actually pretty good, Annie Brady. But I don't really know. I think everyone just gives it a crack here and there. They just kind of mimic me a little bit, so we just go with it, I guess. And yeah,
Does it sound a bit British?
and I do it. Yeah, yeah, definitely. They sound very British.
Uh, and we'll finish off with this one last one. Now, for you, have you tried the American accent, and how's that traveling?
Oh, that's traveling all right, I guess. I reckon there's a couple. There's a couple ones I'm like pretty good at. So, here, you want a little demo?
If
Here we
you
go.
want.
Alrighty. Can I get a cheeseburger and fries? That's the go-to. Yeah, it's not. I sound like a valley girl, but it's not. It's not great. But it's not great, but it's fun to do. So
Well, Katina, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. It's been way too long since we last had you on the
yeah,
show. That was about 3 years ago
yeah,
now. And hopefully, once the pandemic is over and the borders are open up a bit more, hopefully we'll make sure we'll come up to Colorado State and get to watch you play in action and hopefully get to
yeah.
catch up with you sometime
Sure.
very soon.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty. Have a good day.
No
Thank you
worries.
so much for having me.
Not a problem. That's Katina there from the Colorado State women's basketball team. Of course, you can follow them on their socials as well as on the website, which we'll put all the details up on how you can go about following Katina and her amazing teammates there at Colorado State. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the Sunday edition.